here. So after I made my 5-tip video on the tips to pass the PE exam, I got a few questions on how did I decide on which depth I should take for the civil PE exam. So with this video, I'm gonna outline a few questions I asked myself to make an informed decision on which depth to take. Okay, so the first question I asked myself was, what do I do every day, and which depth of the civil exam does that align with? And this is important because this will kind of help you study along the way. So it's kind of like free study sessions while you're working that ties into the exam. If you can choose something that closely aligns with what you do every day. So for myself, I asked the question and I came up with an answer of, okay, on a daily basis, I'm doing structural analysis and design. So obviously structural depth was an option for me. But I also did a lot of construction administration work. So I was like, okay, construction is also an option for me as well. I also thought about geotechnical, but I really didn't do enough geotechnical work to say that, okay, I feel comfortable passing that exam just because I just didn't do enough of it on a daily basis. So what you need to do is ask this question of yourself and be honest, and that will help you narrow down immediately some viable options. The next question I asked myself was, what courses in college did I do the best in? I figured, if I was good in those subjects, then I would have a fun time studying those subjects, and I'd feel more confident when I went to go take the test on those subjects as well, because I would have a history of doing well on those topics. And ask yourself that question again. Be honest. Go back if you can't remember quite how you did. Go back and look at your transcript. You can easily get an unofficial copy from your school, I'm sure, and kind of highlight some courses that oh yeah, I did well in that course. I did well in that course, and try to align those with question one about what you do every day, and see which ones intersect, and that will help you further decide which depth to take. The third question I asked myself, which is very important, was given that we're taking this exam to become professional engineers, there's an ethical clause that we have to uphold ourselves to. And if you're going to take a depth section, you have to ask yourself ethically, do I feel comfortable taking this depth section and then going back to work and practicing in maybe a different area of study? If you can take something that aligns with what you do every day, and that's the best option because then there's no ethical dilemma there. But I would also ask yourself, okay, even if you do take in a depth that is different from what you do every day, do you feel confident in the work that you do every day as far as designing? And if you do, then ethically, you're okay. You have the confidence to say, okay, yeah, I've done this for 4 years or 3 or 2, whatever. Even though I took my PE in a different subject, I still have the work experience to say, yes, I feel comfortable continuing doing this work as a licensed engineer. The last question I asked myself is, which depth section could I financially afford to take? Some of you may work for a company that sponsors you for everything. They pay for your code books, they pay for the test, they give you time off to take the test. They may pay for a review course or what have you. Or some of you may work for a company that they only pay for the test. They don't pay for the code books. They don't pay for any kind of external, or I should say extra help or anything like that. So I thought about that, and when I answered questions 1 through 3, my top 2 choices were construction and structural. And so I looked at the code books I needed for each. And for construction, it wasn't that many. I think it was like 2 or 3. But for structural, there was like 7 code books that you need, that they say you need to pass the exam, that are required. So, but luckily, being that I practice in structural engineering on a daily basis, I had almost all the books that I needed. I think I needed like 1 or 2 that I had to find or source or buy. And you can sometimes you can easily source these from colleagues or classmates, or any sort of way. So luckily, I had those options. So for me personally, I went down and I answered these 4 questions. I felt that I do it on a daily basis, so I have that covered ethically, and it goes along with my work. The courses I took in college, since I studied in a structural concentration, even though those weren't my best courses, those were the courses I took the most. So that answered that question. And then also financially, I didn't have to shell out a whole bunch of extra money on code books to pass the exam, because when you pass the PE, there's no guarantee that you're going to get, the raise that you believe you deserve. Uh, so you never know how much money you'll get back from passing the PE exam. So you don't want to put yourself in a hole too early on, uh, because money counts, money matters. Unless you're fortunate. So with those questions and tips, hopefully you can make an informed decision on what depth to take in the civil PE exam. And if you have any questions, please comment below, and I'll get back to you. And if you like the video, like it. If you like my videos in general, subscribe. I'm not sure how many more PE exam videos I'll make, but if you have any more you want me to make, just ask. Thanks.